Monday, May the 20th, 2024. Of course, we are here for another breathtaking edition of the show Hanging On by a Thread. The show that's hanging by a moment if you're a fan of the band Lifehouse. And I'd be singing Lifehouse if I was the only one here. One of their lesser-known hits, I'm Here Without You. Oh, no, wait, no, that's Three Doors Down. Notorious for having performed at Donald Trump's presidential inauguration event. That's how I think I'm going to go out. Alone, no one likes me, listening to Three Doors Down, muttering, I'm here without you, baby, but you're still with me in my dreams. But tonight, girl, it's only... And the show is The Girl, the show that I'm in love with. Everything to me. A lover, a parent, a child, a friend, an associate. We've got a very special edition. I don't think anyone would dare dream, let alone once, but multiple times, to have a Victoria Day special. But that's where we come into play, because we like to push the envelope. All these other shows are doing what's hot and what's not. Celebrity Talk, we do Victoria Day. Or, if you're a Quebecer, Le Journée des Patriotes, Patriots Day, as it were. But before we really get into the brass tacks of things, I'd like to have a one-on-one, and if you're French, a tete-a-tete, a head-to-head with our co-pilot, our co-host, but to you and to me, our side piece, the one and only Dave Kaufman. Dave, what are we doing, man?
What do you mean?
What's going on with this show? Is it over?
I don't know.
Want some good insight? I don't know. Happy Victoria Day.
I mean, it's pretty low stakes, so it's not a huge deal.
Yeah, low stakes is, at this rate, even a high stakes way of putting it.
Yeah, sure. So it depends if you're having fun doing it or not.
It's a great question. We'll check in on that later.
Sure.
How'd you spend Victoria Day?
Today?
Yeah.
I spent it with my family. My kids were off daycare, and they had endless energy. And we did a bunch of different little family activities. Went to a splash pad, went to a park, got some ice cream. I barbecued a chicken. And I watched Cinderella, the live-action movie, with my daughter. Had some popcorn. And then just as I was saying goodnight to my daughter to come down to do the show, she started crying. She said, Daddy, I really want to snuggle you tonight. And I said, sorry, I got to go do this internet show.
It's not often that I feel guilt-tripped. But my friend, you have just paid and taken me on a first-class guilt trip.
And that is a 100% true story.
I didn't deny it even for a second.
Yeah.
Well,
it's okay. She slept in my bed over the weekend a couple of times, and she ruined my sleep. So,
all right. So it's a bit of revenge.
Yeah, it's revenge. Yeah.
Yeah, Dave. I want to talk about something that happened over the weekend that you and I were perhaps regrettably a part of.
Sure.
I'm going to bring something in a frame that will not be a surprise or unknown to some of our loyal viewers. Without any further adieu. This is Dr. Ruth's Game of Good Sex. Now, a number of years ago, in the year of 2020, the year of our Lord and Savior, COVID-19, we played this game live on the air. You hosted it. It was a lot of fun. And then as things began to come around and shows were back in full swing, I believe it was either you or me or some combination said, hey, this could be an improv show. Yeah. And this past Saturday, for the third consecutive time, we did it. And for the third consecutive time... not good.
Is that a question?
I guess more of a statement.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for your comments now.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great show. I think this is one of those things. This is sort of the white whale of improv comedy premise shows. Yeah. Because I feel like there's something about it that could work. I feel like when we did it on this show, we had a more. It worked to a degree. and it hasn't worked live. And it's something that I feel like we might never solve the puzzle, but I think it was a worthwhile effort nevertheless.
Yes. And I'll never, ever turn a blind eye to trying things. I'd rather try things and fail than just go with the status quo, classic improv comedy crap that is going to work. I'd rather try because then we can fail as heroes. Not every heroic mission ends with success.
Sure, I mean, there's a lot of how many rockets did SpaceX have to shoot into space before they got one that could come down and land? It
I
took
don't
it
even know
took
because I don't even know what SpaceX is.
It's everyone's favorite billionaire Elon Musk's space company. But they,
Okay.
they shoot rockets into space and then they land back down.
So we're the improv comedy version of SpaceX.
Well, yeah, so far, yeah.
Okay. Now before we move on, this is a show we thought we are gonna give it one last try. Let's go all in. Usually when we do the show, I dress up as a 70s swinger.
Hmm.
So what if everyone dresses up? Now, let's put the cards on the table. How humiliating was it sitting there in those outfits with the audience at peak discomfort immediately once the show began? It's not often I've felt like a loser
Uh,
doing this. I
on,
felt like a loser, a
on,
total loser.
Honestly, it didn't bother me. The outfits didn't
Oh,
bother me in the slightest. I mean, there were certain things that maybe aggravated me about the show as it went on, but I don't.
I witnessed your aggravation with my eyes.
Yeah, yeah, but I didn't feel like I was like ashamed to be doing it. I was like, I wish this was better, but I
Yeah.
wasn't like,
There was a lot of, I will say there was a lot of good moments. That's why we've got a clip for you. Could you imagine throwing to clips of improv on this show? I hate it, but also, yeah, let's put on the list of ambitious
I
ideas.
wish I had something funny lined up for you when you said that, like
It almost feels like now there's
skeleton.
an image that was posted of all of us, the cast photo, and I think that may have been the only good thing to come out of that show.
I
That
think,
show lost money.
yeah. Well, uh, I don't know. I feel like there was a couple of good scenes. It was mostly bad.
Yeah.
And, I'm not going to be. I'd like it to be good. I try my best to make the shows that I'm in good every time I do it, but I'm not going to lose sleep over one that went wrong.
It woke me up.
Yeah.
That show woke me up in the morning. I woke up quite upset. It was double-sided.
Yeah,
The
you
show,
wrote me in the morning. Oh, I think it was this morning, right? No, yesterday morning.
no, it was, yeah.
We're failures.
Yeah, I wrote we're failures, but I think the fact that it was the first really hot day, that's what woke me up, and we've all been there, waking up after a show. Some of us can't wait to call someone immediately. Mark Roland. But that's where I was. Now we'll segue to this final thought on the Dr. Ruth game of good sex. Usually some good can come out of bad. I believe it was Winston Churchill that once said, "There's no use in letting a good crisis go to waste." Now, I have not primed you for this, Dave. So this is a big announcement.
Okay.
Because of everything we've gone through with this live show, I'm proud to announce the return of the Dr. Ruth's Game of Good Sex as an At Home with James online exclusive only, to be hosted by you at an unconfirmed date.
All right. I think I feel like at the very least we know it works as a game show, but maybe not
Yes.
an improv show.
Yeah, it makes me feel like a failure.
Well, James, I don't think you're a failure. I think you're a stand-up guy, and I think you're
Well, I
going to
think you're a
recover from
stand-up
this.
guy too.
I
Yeah, I
appreciate
think we'll
that.
all recover from it. Now,
Yeah.
I mentioned it a couple moments ago. I woke up heated, literally, figuratively, as our fans might be able to tell. I'm not currently in my trademark flannel and hoodie because summer weather is officially upon us, and you know that when I'm wearing some type of loud shirt on the internet show, it means the warm weather is here, and the warm weather is often accompanied by Victoria Day. That's why we're going to have a Victoria Day panel. And at this moment, I would like to introduce tonight's panelists, joining both Dave and myself. Let's welcome true legends in the at-home world. It's Saima Ahmed and Marilyn T. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Saima, as the great and not late Aaron Lewis of Stained once sang, "It's been a while." Last time you were here
Yeah,
was in the month of January.
really? You keep
Yeah.
track of this like on an Excel sheet or something?
No, it's I use a MacBook Air, so I use a the Note app. I've
Yeah.
got everything tracked on here. Now, just for giggles, Simon, would you like to hear which number of appearance this is for you?
Can I guess first?
You can.
And then there'll be a sound clip.
Oh,
Let's
damn
do
it.
It might need to be auditory from your mouth, but yeah. Simon, would you like to take a guess?
10, number 10.
That is a shockingly terrible guess.
Oh,
Think about this. The show's been running for more than 4 years. If it was 10, that's an average, like what is that? A little over 2 appearances a year.
I feel like I don't come on that often though.
This is and I will say I'm surprised at how low this number is.
We should all
This,
guess.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Dave, what number of appearance do you think this is for Saima? And then we're gonna go around the horn and guess everyone's.
I'm going to say 23.
Okay. Marilyn, any guesses?
I just know that I think, Saima, you went on a bit more on the first year, second year. So I would also say something like that, like 18, 20.
So
Wow.
we've got Marilyn at anywhere from 18 to 20. Dave's going 23. Saima, you're going with?
I mean, I don't want to change my answer, so I'll just keep it to 10.
10. All right, Saima, this is your 33rd appearance.
Wow.
Wow.
All right, now,
I
Marilyn,
was so off.
Marilyn's been a more of a regular guest as in the recent times, and I'm looking at this number now. This is more than I would have guessed. Marilyn, would you like to guess what number of appearances is for you?
I'd say close to that number, but probably I've been coming on the show in the past 2 years. So I'd say, yeah, like 30, 25 to 30. Yeah.
25 to 30. Saima, any guesses for Marilyn? This is now the newest and worst game show in the history of this program.
Let's do 40.
40? Okay, Dave, any guesses?
Well,
Like
you
50,
said
yeah.
that Marilyn's more regular than
Yeah.
Saima. And Saima was 33, 32?
Saima was 33.
33.
Marilyn has
Over 4 years.
accumulated a good number of appearances as the years have gone on.
So I'm going to guess 48.
Marilyn is clocking in at 17. This is her 17th appearance.
Wow.
That's less.
Okay.
Okay, now would we like to guess how many times Dave has been on the show?
Ooh.
Okay.
Dave, let's start with you.
Well,
How
how many?
How many
shows-
episodes is this?
I believe tonight is our 484th.
Okay. I'm going to guess 340.
Okay, Marilyn?
I know. I was gonna say more like 430. Maybe you missed 50. Yeah, 430.
Okay.
Because, yeah.
Simon, any guesses?
400.
All right, now Dave, I think you were about to chime in. There is a condition that you've certainly missed more than 50 because we at one point had a rotating door of different texts.
Right, but they've all quit.
They have all quit. Dave is the last man standing. Dave tonight clocks in on his 277th appearance.
Oh wow.
There is no need to guess for me. We're coming in at 484.
Is that true? You've been on all of them?
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
ones I didn't host, I appeared on some level.
Right.
That's
right.
true.
Because Dave has hosted, I
Yeah.
would say, anywhere in between 6 to 8 episodes.
I was on once when Dave hosted.
That's true. Yeah, I believe you were taking calls. You took a variety of calls.
Yes, I did.
And Dimitri has hosted also.
Dimitri, the only person who has hosted the show, except for me, is Dave.
Okay.
And if there is ever any type of unseen circumstance, it will stay that way. Although Dimitri did have to take over during an episode once because I had horrendous diarrhea and I had to leave my control center to use the washroom.
I think I was on that one show.
Yeah, you may have been on that episode, yes. And it was coincidentally from eating dinner at Dave's house. He ordered pizza. I have not eaten their pizza ever since.
Right, I didn't prep the meal.
Dave did not
Oh,
prep the meal. As
okay.
much as I would love to claim that he gave me diarrhea as he gave me COVID that cost me thousands of dollars, which I could really use right now due to tax season and a variety of reasons, he did not give me diarrhea. He's given me COVID and he's given me a lot of good laughs.
Did Dave also get sick from the pizza?
No, I was fine.
Well, Dave's poison is Mike's frozen pizza.
Yeah.
Well, it's Victoria Day. And I'm curious.
Victory!
Yeah. I want to go around the horn and ask, first and foremost, hey, what does Victoria Day mean to you? Saima, let's start with you.
I feel like Victoria Day is like it's the first long weekend of the summer. Usually the weather is nice. It's like a nice beginning to the summer.
All right, Dave, what does Victoria Day mean to you?
I mean, it's a day to commemorate the Queen Victoria, who we all love dearly, who I think lived 100 years ago.
Marilyn, what does Victoria Day mean to you?
I'm gonna side with Saima a bit more. Like, yeah, a nice long weekend, very close to the summer, because it's not even summer yet. We still have 3 weeks to go. So a nice long weekend at the end of the spring. And yeah, and it's always on a Monday, so that is nice, I find.
Okay, so this is a perfect segue to Marilyn, your current background. Would you like to explain this flag, this insignia, and what it represents? Because it's very pertinent to our next topic.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm not like that knowledgeable, but I looked it up because I was telling James earlier that I'm pretty sure I was on last year at this time, and we might have not have talked about Victoria Day that much, but I mentioned it.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah. But basically, this flag actually doesn't really exist. Like, it's either like, you know, just the green, white, and red. So I just found this one and I was like, this is interesting. But basically, the green, white, and red mean the people that were patriots, like back in the day, fighting kind of like the British. But the green means the Irish, the white, the Quebecois, and the red, the English. So it means there was a bunch of rebellious people to just the order of the British back in the lower Canada. So, and they all came together to just try to like get, really they had asked for, you know, they wanted more land, but it was all like taken care of by the crown, and they always had to like do a lot of political moves to try to get something. So I get it's like frustration.
But and that's why here it's often referred to as La Journée des Patriotes.
Yes, because actually what happened is a lot of these people were killed and died after like trying to do rebellious action. There was a lot of fighting at that time. So
now,
we commemorate that. Yeah.
I think it's sometimes as Quebecers easy to be like, oh, what a petty place. But I will say, I do like that Quebec stands up for what it believes in. It's unlike any other place in Canada, and there's many other provinces that have their own. It's not like I'd go to Newfoundland and be like, yeah, this feels like Canada. I'd be like, hey, this place is friggin' messed up. Quebec? Oh, come on. The way they talk. Hey, coming on down to the fair there. Oh, going down to Newfoundland and Labrador. Come on, man.
That's messed up, James?
I think
Not
it is.
being a hater.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying I'm a hater, but I'm saying that Quebec is unique in the way that Newfoundland and Labrador is. You know, I'm impersonating Alan Doyle, lead singer of Great Big Sea.
Great band.
Yeah, real great. Now, it's easy to be like, oh, of course, Quebec needs to have its own thing. Dave, let's go to, what do you think about today not being Victoria Day, but Patriots Day? As a patriot yourself.
It grinds my gears, James. Because I love this Queen Victoria.
Yeah.
Do you know that she married her first cousin, Prince Albert, and they had 9 kids together?
Prince Albert famously now slang for
a piercing on a wiener.
Yeah.
Multiple piercing.
Is it multiple?
Yeah. Oh, maybe it's not. I don't know, actually.
I'm gonna have to look that up, Marilyn.
I'm curious to know. Let's put again. I mentioned this. I used this term earlier. Put the cards on the table. Has anyone here seen a Prince Albert live and in person?
I'm thinking in live.
Live in person. It can't be a Google image search.
I can't say that I have, James.
I can't say that I have either. Marilyn, I will say, if I were to guess anyone here that has seen one, you know, you're a big time Fringe festival goer. I feel like there's been some type of strange event at the Fringe Park where someone's like naked playing the mandolin with a Prince Albert piercing.
Yeah, there's a strip spelling bee that is sometimes associated with the Fringe, but I can't say, just because I also did not know if it was multiples piercing. Obviously, I'm not very knowledgeable, so I can't say that I have seen one in real life either.
Coming in from the chat, the real Andrew Mackay writes, quote, "I've seen one live. Worst family reunion ever. I pray, banging my heart as one of our own, Celine Dion, that this is true." Saima, what do you think about Quebec having its version, Journée des Patriotes? What do you think?
I feel like, okay, I don't know how long it's been around because when I was a kid, it was always Victoria Day. It's only recently I noticed people calling it Journée des Patriotes. So I don't know when this happened. I feel like it's a more recent holiday. Is that possible?
It is. Actually, I wanted to mention that because you didn't, well, I was going to, but that's it. It's only been like changed and like officialized in the last 20 years.
Oh,
so
interesting.
It makes sense that we knew Victoria Day, all of us, for a while before it actually got switched by the Quebec government.
It almost feels like it times up exactly when smoking was banned in bars. Now, when I think smoking in bars, I think
2003.
Yeah, I think both of those. Yeah, okay. All right, I want to keep things moving. Saima, you mentioned it. Victoria Day often lands during a moment in time when the weather starts to get nice. Now, this means that spring is on its way out. For all intents and purposes, it's essentially summer. No one would go outside and say, wow, what a great spring day. And just as an aside, this is an argument I've been having with my mother for years. She'll correct me and say, no, it's still spring. No, it's still winter. If there was a blizzard at the end of April, I'm not going to go outside and go, wow, I can't believe it's spring. I land on the season by way of what it feels like outside. But of course, it still is spring. Is there anything we have left on our spring bucket list that we want to accomplish before summer hits? Dave, let's start with you. Famously a huge fan of spring.
Oh, I love spring, James.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Victoria Day.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah. You know, I feel like I need a...
Oh, I'm curious to know